as Group A comes to a closure here at DreamHack Valencia, Group B is just beginning, getting things underway between CompLexity and T.Trouble. A lot of Rocket League action here over the weekend, and again, we are just finding ourselves at the halfway mark. A lot still to be settled here, not only through today, but literally the entirety of the tournament. It is a lot of hype, a lot of action, and welcome back here. I am your host, Wade Dreadnought Penfold. Turtle and Gibbs here up with me at the desk as always. Now every time I feel like I have to say your names.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Just the one time.
Just once in a while.
Okay, just sprinkle it in here and there. Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's
Surprise
fair.
us.
I'll work on it.
All right, but we have 4 teams through so far. It seems like we've been here forever, but only 4 teams through, and we still have to find 4 more. So we're just starting Group B now, and it's going to be a wild ride to end the day, that's for sure.
Yeah, the matches have still been, I don't know, I feel like ever since day one, the series have been somewhat predictable, but the way they go is just the complete opposite as we think it's going to. There's been really no convincing wins besides Vitality almost this entire tournament, and it's been crazy to see, and I wonder if it's just going to be that way the rest of the tournament.
And I'm going to get a little weird here, and I'm just going to ask in an overarching perspective, you two with having, you know, all the years of Rocket League history in mind, is that a good or a bad thing? Has there ever been an era of chaos that has been this kind of kerfluffled all over the place that you guys maybe struggle to find that? And was that a good or a bad thing? Is that growth within Rocket League? Is that, you know, finding room for error? What is that?
So I feel like Rocket League, the skill ceiling is always so far away, right?
Yeah.
But like as we get closer, everyone is like slowly creeping up towards that skill ceiling now, while everyone else is also there with them, right? Compared to when we first started Rocket League, there were some players like a Kronovi that were like up here while everyone else is down here. Nowadays, they're like all like this. So that's why like every series is so close. Even with bubble teams, like there is so much potential for all of these players. And that's why we love these events, because we start seeing new stars as well. And then it's a great tryout, not only for their own team, but those teams in the RLCS that are looking for roster moves. Like, hey, we've seen Astral. He's been looking great in DreamHacks. He gets picked up by Dignitas.
Yeah, and this is one of my favorite eras, honestly, of Rocket League in general, because it feels like the skill ceiling, like you said, has been increasing, but it's also all these new roster shuffles and new players and new teammates. It creates different play styles that we get to analyze, that we get to see, and it makes Rocket League, I guess, your perspective on everything change and switch up the metas, how you're improving and why teams are working the way they are. And right now, we're seeing the results of that. All these different roster shuffles, all these weird plays in the series are going so completely opposite of how we think. It's just really fun to watch.
It is a lot of fun to watch here, and we got to figure out where we are now here, sitting at the group, or excuse me, on day number 2, and take a glance at our groups to figure out all the action there and the conclusions coming out from Group A.
Yeah, so far we have Group A done. So Vitality, the River Rats, the Bricks, and PSG. We saw all that unfold. So that means Dignitas, they are out. But Group B, it has started. We saw Barcelona take down Rogue, and G2 took down Energy. So again, Fireburner on his last live.
Yeah, and that's something very important. He's retiring. How will he come out today? But G2 still looking strong. We talked about it earlier. They had been, you know, the only other team besides Vitality to come in swinging fully with everything they have, and they're continuing up the streak. Barcelona as well, responding back to Rogue. Last time they played each other, Rogue completely swept them. So
yeah, it was Game 5. It was an extremely close series. But Barcelona, they get their revenge from the World Championship.
But now it's time to set our focus here on our actual series at hand, and that is between CompLexity and that of T.Trouble. A bit of the middle of the pack when looking at the European power rankings here. Who do you feel maybe has the upper hand going into this?
I feel like CompLexity has to have the upper hand just because they were cleaner on day 1. But T.Trouble, their only loss was against PSG, a team that is into day 3 already. And that series was incredibly close. We talked about it. That was the most entertaining series from day 1. Some 0-second plays where T.Trouble could have easily brought that to 5. So it's not as so easy to say that CompLexity is the favorite here.
And the thing about T.Trouble, though, is we haven't seen them really compete against too many high-level teams. And the one team we did was PSG. You know, they beat the Renegades, but it doesn't seem like that's too much of competition right now. And
wow, Turtle, wow.
I respect the honesty.
Hey, I'm the one who's supposed to be savage on this desk.
Look, it's not meant to be savage. It's just the facts right now. Come on, man.
It's the way the cookie crumbles, Gibbs.
They already exited on day 1. Just let them be, man.
Yeah, it's a bit of a salt to the wind, but I agree with you. The data that is displayed at hand, I think it is a very fair statement there when looking at the track record. Their way to day 2.
It's not enough. They haven't had too much competition besides PSG, and when they did, it was not the greatest. I mean, they took them to Game 5, but they still lost.
And probably one of the most favorite teams coming out of like probably the hottest teams that was not the world championship might be CompLexity, right? They made it to the RLCS, and everyone's like, these guys are contenders for top 4, and one of those teams is T.Trouble. So we saw them yesterday. They took down some of their European rivals. We're going to see again will they do it versus Triple Trouble?
Yeah, and these guys remind me exactly of Barcelona that we saw last season. They came from the rival series and they're trying to catapult themselves all the way forward. And this DreamHack right now is the first stepping stone for them to actually make a mark and prove that they're the next rival series team to just completely explode.
They're slowly climbing that ladder. They took down TSM yesterday. Now it's a little bit harder, right? Now we get Triple Trouble. On day 3, who knows who they get? Maybe PSG.
And it should be important to note there that, at DreamHack Dallas, CompLexity did, in fact, find themselves into day number 3, even when they were that kind of, new sponsor hype coming in. Everybody was wondering how they would actually perform. And even with, all the teams competing at Worlds, they still held their own.
Yeah. And then we saw with Triple Trouble. We'll see who wins this. Who gets first kickoff? I think T.Trouble got it. I'm
Unlucky.
not sure. It seemed like they were both... I think they were arguing about it. I'm not really sure.
No,
Rocky's not happy about it.
Rock, paper, scissors definitely did not solve this. Yeah,
it's always hard with rock, paper, scissors because, do you go on 1, 2, 3, go, or that fourth thing where it's rock, paper, scissors, and go? It's always
this is when you come in as a coach. You should have been back there telling them when to go and, setting out the guys.
That's why we have the judge with Cassio. He's supposed to be there. That's why he should be in the middle.
The third man to reel them all back here whenever the salt kind of goes a flare. It's either that. I like a die kind of approach to it. If you're really going to leave it up to RNG, why would you do it in such a weird system? Just roll a die, high or low, call it.
But then you have to have a dice on you.
Okay, a quarter? I don't know.
No.
What am I listening to?
Your hands are with you.
You don't play D&D enough to constantly have a D20 on you? I don't know what's wrong. Hello?
I don't play D&D. I'm sorry.
Anyways, we aren't playing D&D. We're playing Rocket League here. Triple Trouble and CompLexity here. It is time for the predictions, boys. Who do you think has it? CompLexity?
I feel like CompLexity is going to keep riding that ladder. They're going to keep climbing it. I think they will take down Triple Trouble.
I loved Greasy's interview yesterday. So carefree, so fun. He's happy to be here. And I haven't seen enough of Triple Trouble. I'm going to go with CompLexity.
And I agree with all those points. Actually, part of the reason that I've been leaning more towards CompLexity was that interview yesterday. It was really nice to hear the mentality and kind of thought process there, and that carefreeness and the personality flowing. It usually always just feels like those players are always the ones that find themselves later in the series or later in the tournament.
Yeah, when I talked to Greasy at the airport, he was like, we just ran into the best Cloud9 has ever looked when they lost at Dallas in the top 8. And Cloud9 obviously went on to win that tournament. So CompLexity, they could have went pretty far as long as they didn't play Cloud9, but they got them. So see if they can do it again.
Well, we're going to waste no more time here. We're going to get into this series, and the commentary crew bring you all the action. It's James Bott and Chiefs.
Thank you very much, Dreadnought. And I also think I favor the CompLexity crew. I mean, they were pretty hot back at Dallas, and they've been a little hit or miss at Valencia, but I think they stand a good chance versus Triple Trouble.
Absolutely. CompLexity, the latest addition to the RLCS. These guys got relegated, then battled their way back through the rival series, getting back to the RLCS, and now going up against another rival series veteran that's also in the RLCS now, Triple Trouble. CompLexity, though, at the hands of Flakes, really has just been playing at a different level.
That being said, there's a lot to be praised about Triple Trouble. I mean, Ronicky and T.Trouble have both been admirable, to say the least, about how they've performed in Valencia, and Cassio has been a sound option for them as needed, but they're going to need a big game from absolutely T.Trouble and Ronicky if they want to take down, that beast on the end there, Flakes, who's just been a thorn in everybody's side.
Yeah, Flakes, he is a deadly player. Look for him to lead the attack for CompLexity. He's a heck of a shooter. We'll see if he can do it here.
Well, kickoff gets game 1 underway, and already Ronicky putting on some pressure, gets the ball down to T.Trouble, and it's going to be Flakes in charge of the defense. Trying to dodge a few bumps on the wall coming from T.Trouble. Magnus, Greasy run into each other. Bit of an awkward exchange to get through things in the midfield. Cassio will just rip one at the net, and actually Flakes to block, and pressure from Triple Trouble. Not really getting anything going against CompLexity to start off game 1. Greasy actually has a transition down to the other side for free, pretty much, and it's on the board.
Yeah, Greasy getting on the board early. Ronicky tried to back pass it to Cassio, but Cassio I don't think was expecting it. He had cheated up, and when he came up, the pass from Ronicky just ended up putting the ball in a terrible spot. Greasy then able to capitalize on that. So early miscommunication for Triple Trouble costing him.
And kickoff for Greasy Meister. Coming right back to him. Pushes it into that Triple Trouble corner. Long clear from Cassio. Flakes to delay. figuring out how to get that ball into the middle. Nobody there for Cassio. Was a great pass, but everybody from Trouble off gathering boost. Flakes goes across. Magnus tries to give it back, but goes behind him. He's going to have to try and beat Cassio on the wall here. Drops it down and out across. Flakes unable to make the read. Breezy, solid defense in the midfield. Pass towards the back wall. Flakes going for the block. Can't get in front of Ronicky. Great double tap. It's back the other way, but Magnus is already back there waiting. And it's Breezy to push this ball into the corner and actually sets Triple Trouble up quite nicely. That was a lot more of a tongue twister than I thought. And a beautiful flick. Flakes catches the ball in the midfield. 2-0 CompLexity.
The flick from Flakes. Magnus going for the challenge. Flakes just catches it. Great control. And then you see him flipping around 180 and then back flipping that shot in. Flakes, a deadly accurate shooter, putting his skills on display.
So a hot start for CompLexity to kick off the series. And it's Tadpole will just hand one over to Magnus. Trying to get that ball on target. Just went right down. Magnus actually free ball here with a miss from Trouble. Long clear from Ronicky, though. Forces Greasy to play this out of his own corner. Not an easy spot to be in. Pass into the middle, and it'll be Tadpole to cut the lead in half.
This game could have been getting out of hand for Trouble, but they staunched the bleeding here. Greasy tried to dribble that ball up the wall. It got away from him. Ronicky comes in to push that ball into the middle, and Tadpole was ready and waiting.
A great play from Trouble to get things back in order and keep the game open to them. Ball out in the middle, just hovering around. Tadpole figuring out how he would like to approach it. Ends up going for the back wall touch, and CompLexity deal with it with relative ease. CompLexity pressuring Trouble on their goal line. Now setting up shop in the midfield. Cassio out to the corner. Nice bump on Greasy will push CompLexity off the ball and maybe get Trouble an option down on the other side. Flakes to delay Cassio, sets up Magnus. Down to Flakes, trying to go right back into him, just missed it. Either way, Greasy will have a follow-up. Can he find the block here? Not quite. It'll be Trouble figuring out, all right, let's see if we can get something out into the middle. He's got Tadpole lined up towards the back. The only one there is going to be Magnus, though. It's Cassio right behind him, trying to apply some pressure coming out of the corner. CompLexity again, out scot-free. Touchdown the other side into the middle. Cassio uncontested, clears out to Tadpole, cut down by Greasy. Out towards the middle for Magnus. And CompLexity kind of just letting Trouble hit the ball right at him.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you've got the lead. Try to get that time winding down, but one goal, never a safe lead. Flakes even having a chance to go for a flick, didn't have enough in the tank earlier. But CompLexity still on this assault.
Beautiful lift from Ronicky. It's out into the middle for Tadpole. The block, and so close. They had all the pieces, but the final touch couldn't get there. Trouble, a beautiful effort. Not able to convert.
You can tell they're starting to rev up. Trouble getting some opportunities here, starting to get aggressive, going for demos. But can they do it? Can they pull this one back?
Ronicky, tough bounce for Flakes in the midfield, and there's Cassio. We're locked at 2. It's a beautiful equalizer.
And they absolutely do pull this one back. Flakes trying to make the read. He couldn't do it. It was just too much speed on the pass off the backboard, but Cassio had it read the whole way.
So Trouble, it takes them a little bit to get going, but they do get themselves back into it. And CompLexity gonna have to figure out what they can do here. Ball across, here comes Cassio looking for an option. Out into the middle, Flakes down, and it's in a one-on-one versus Tadpole. Doesn't really get a good handle on the ball and needs help from Magnus. He's got him on the back wall. It's towards the back wall, dangerous. And Ronicky cleared away. Trouble will hang on, maybe get the last couple of saves here. Double tuck, and that will be cleared away. Magnus down to the other side, easy stop for Cassio. Down into the middle, there's Flakes stopped, and that'll be kicked out to the corner. Ronicky saves the day. Flakes has another option, though. Punched into the middle, but can't get it in front of the frame. Greasy unable to come up with a block. It's Tadpole transition down to the other side, and CompLexity trying to break out for the final few chances, but it won't be there. It's It's Ronicky from the top of the box. 3-2, Triple Trouble.
And Tadpole from the save that he made on the other end, this time taking out Flakes in net, clearing the path for Ronicky. Tadpole, a stellar final moment of the game from him, stepping up for his team.
CompLexity gonna try and get something done here with 9 seconds. It'll be a hard press. Greasy is pushed back into his own corner. Beautiful clear all the way up the pitch. They stall it right there, and it actually takes a hop. Believe it or not, it's down and dangerous, but nobody comes up with a touch. Triple Trouble will steal game 1.
It looked like CompLexity had this all the way, but Triple Trouble reeling it back in the final moments. And so much of that due to Tadpole. Tadpole with the defensive stop, then getting the demo on the other end, clearing the path for Ronicky. Triple Trouble, really a team effort here, getting this win in game 1.
Absolutely agree. And it was just a way to stop CompLexity there at that midfield line in the middle of that game and just not even giving up. I mean, you're down 2 and the clock just keeps ticking. They started it off about the minute mark to find that beautiful equalizer.
This flick from Flakes was just wonderful, beating out the final defender. That seemed like it was going to be enough for CompLexity to hold things down, but then they started to have cracks in their defense. Casio getting that equalizer, and then this play from Tadpole. Watch him get the demo on Flakes.
It was a solid clear from Magnus, but there was off screen, just took Flakes right out, and they tried to get back in position, just didn't have enough time. And Triple Trouble, just a beautiful effort to go ahead and not have to play a stressful overtime to start off the series. This is the start of our second group, round 1, so both teams will have a second chance regardless of what happens here.
And the winner is not through to day 3. They still have one more series to go.
And so game 2, we make our way to Utopia Coliseum. And we shall see what CompLexity has in store. Game 2 will slip away like game 1 or not. Popped across, Magnus down to Flakes, and towards the left-hand side of the net, an easy save for Casio, already there. Greasy waiting for the clear, just tries to go right between 2 defenders. And again, Triple Trouble, an easy stop. Flakes on the dribble, he's got Greasy in the midfield, but he's covered by 2 people, and he'll just take it himself. Flakes will just turn one in.
More highlight reel plays from Flakes. Popping it up in the air, chasing it down, getting that second touch, completely fooling Ronicky. What a shot from Flakes.
Strong opener for the young man. He has just been lights out since he joined this CompLexity roster. He said look for him to make big plays. Well, he started off, and here's a second chance. Magnus will get one into the back of the net. Again, CompLexity up 2-0 early.
CompLexity, can they hold on to this, though? Flakes, a weak shot. It was saved, but Magnus there to launch that one back in the heart of the net. They had a 2-goal lead in the last game, and it's only 35 seconds in. CompLexity, a great start.
Very similar to game 1. Greasy wants another one, and it'll be Ronicky playing defense from the backboard. Pass down towards the wall, so close to getting the dunk. Ronicky comes up empty, popped out to the side, and Greasy off the ceiling, stopped at the line. Flakes into his own corner for Tadpole now. Wants to get that ball into the middle. Magnus, proactive defense, already out there, knew where it was going. Tough ball for Flakes to handle. Gets up just in time, kicks it into the corner. Not able to get a clear through Casio, though. Double commits from CompLexity, and thankfully Triple Trouble was allowing a bit of space there. Threatening some demos on the Triple Trouble line. CompLexity trying to get a big third goal, because that's where it really becomes tough to have faith in a team to come back. Flakes tips forward, Tadpole there to stop it. Not a good clear from Flakes. They want the demo in the net, and he will recover. Flakes, a beautiful effort to get back in front of that one after putting it on a platter.
Flakes showing us some of his defense after the stellar offense he's provided already for CompLexity. And we've had some great action very early in game 2.
Ronicky not going to have an opportunity at the double tap. Greasy in a race for the ball, bounce towards the wall, and there's Flakes. He will be turned aside. A beautiful tip from Triple Trouble out to safety of the corner.
And that was an absolutely necessary touch there from Ronicky. That ball in a dangerous spot, but well done to get it cleared away.
Cassio off the ceiling. Magnus kicked into the corner for Greasy. Met by Tadpole. And Ronicky and Cassio trying to time things out in the midfield. Not going to be able to find the bump on Magnus, but down into the middle, there he is, and that will be kept aside. Flakes will have to make 2 stops, but it actually catches a piece of Magnus, which lets Triple Trouble to wheel back around on this one. They try and find the gap on the wall, but Flakes, waiting patiently on the goal line, able to come and make a solid clear.
Greasy trying to take a first touch, but he didn't have time. Cassio cuts it out. And now Triple Trouble starting this attack.
Cassio, pass across, and that one will finally sneak its way through the defense. CompLexity have had to stop a couple of these great passes, but they can't keep everything out.
And this pass, just a blistering pass from Cassio. Flakes tried to get a piece of it, couldn't save it aside, and it all started when Greasy tried to take his time in the midfield, lost possession, and Triple Trouble relentlessly attacking from that point on, eventually getting that goal.
Feeling dangerously similar to game 1. Triple Trouble, the wheels have started turning after a dynamite start from CompLexity. Long clear, he's got Cassio there. Can he fool the defense? It's up. Magnus has little boost, but thankfully nobody was on him. And Tadpole there to find it cleared and block that one out and try and get Triple Trouble going back on the offensive. Greasy into the middle, dangerous off the backboard, but Flakes needed to turn that one into the net, would take a lot of pressure off CompLexity. Second chance has also gone awry, and Greasy will pop one into the middle, and Magnus in a race, down to Flakes, wants the lower right-hand side, and great save from Cassio.
Cassio keeping hope alive for Triple Trouble, approaching the final minute of gameplay, still within reach, just 1 goal separating these teams. And Triple Trouble, we've seen them do it before, can they do it again?
Cassio, slow play, demo, Tadpole into the middle, and that's a beautiful equalizer. The slow roll gets it.
Triple Trouble does not disappoint. Cassio not only getting the pass, but he gets the demo, even tries to take out Magnus as well. Tadpole finishing off that shot. An excellent play from Cassio.
Triple Trouble just refused to go away, and everybody's actually taking a stop, so we'll take a pause and try and figure out what's going on here in game 2, and we will get word to you as soon as we can. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Triple Trouble, and my goodness, how they're getting the job done against this CompLexity defense, because 4 minutes, 33 seconds, 4 minutes, 25 seconds. Boom, boom. CompLexity up 2-0. Rest of the game, Triple Trouble on offense.
Triple Trouble, it's just perseverance. They keep it going. CompLexity, they have Flakes at the helm of the offense. He had that phenomenal air dribble shot that faked out Ronicky. And then, the 2 early goals from CompLexity, but Triple Trouble just refusing to give up. They took advantage of the mistake by Greasy. Greasy trying to take time that he didn't have at the midfield that put them on the attack. They capitalize. And on this play, Cassio just ruthless. He goes for the pass into the middle and gets the demo, clears the way, and then the little chip from Tadpole to get that equalizer. That's exactly what Triple Trouble needed. And if they can finish this game off, steal another win in game 2, you've got to that just hurts so much. Yeah, that is, just bury him now.
It's a tough pill to swallow for sure if you would be CompLexity, because you've been playing pretty solid Rocket League, but to be fair, you've also spent a ton of time on defense. They've already had to make 9 saves in game 2. 9. And Greasy has just been dead quiet in this one.
Yeah, Greasy, it has been a quiet game from him. Flakes all around the field. 5 saves for him, 4 for Magnus. So all the saves coming out from those 2 guys. But, it's just CompLexity sometimes thinking that they have more time than they actually do.
They're doing a great job as well. Always getting those passes, but it looks like we've solved whatever the issue was, and we will shortly return back and have a conclusion to game number 2. We're 50 seconds in. We're tied 2-2, and let's go ahead and get the kickoff, and let's see what happens. So Flakes will catch one off the kickoff, and already no time wasted. Here comes Greasy to try and follow up, and it'll be Tadpole to find a clear. Cassio towards the CompLexity corner, comes up empty. Great support from Ronicky, however, not able to find the dunk. Magnus to kick it out to the side. Tadpole won't go for the pass, goes right towards the net, and Greasy Meister will make a stop. Tadpole wants a redirect. Beautiful lift off the mark, though. And Ronicky will not be able to keep the pressure up. Maybe CompLexity get the last say. It's into the middle for Greasy. Shot towards target. Kicked off the board. Transfer back the other way. Double commit from Magnus and his teammates. So Ronicky will have some extra time here. Will lose out on the boost, though. Overtime looming. And CompLexity pressing hard here just to see if they don't have to play it. It will not happen, though. It's going to bounce around. Magnus will kick it into the midfield, and it'll be Ronicky to shut things down. Oh, so close, but not enough. And OT, here we go.
Oh my, that crossbar coming in huge for Triple Trouble. Greasy shot a blistering one, but just off the mark.
CompLexity feels like a must-win game despite only being game 2. Tadpole just trying to track that ball somewhere and get a handle on it. Ronicky might be able to get this one back into the midfield. Caught a little too much of it, though. And Cassio actually gets that ball stolen away. Magnus, beautiful recovery effort. Demo as well. Flakes doesn't get the greatest touch, and that'll slow down the push here from CompLexity. Greasy a little late to the ball, and Magnus trying to reset it up. It was a beautiful chance, though. Magnus flick high, and oh, not in! Saved on the goal line by Triple Trouble. 2 hard stoppers, and they get out of both.
CompLexity has to wonder what they have to do to get a goal. The crossbar, their worst enemy right now.
Long clear from Triple Trouble. Return fire, says Greasy, and kicked out sideways for Cassio. Triple Trouble need to get a handle back on this ball because they can't keep surviving tough chances. Magnus sees through the smoke and will make a clear. Tadpole finds a gap on the backboard. Double commit pulls out 2 from CompLexity. They're all stuck in this corner, and Magnus, just a great play to stick with that ball because they needed to spread themselves back out. Pass across for Ronicky, and there it is. Cassio will deliver a dagger, and that will be 2-0 Triple Trouble.
An amazing game from Cassio, just tacking on another play at the end. Cassio getting up, challenging that play, and getting the win. Triple Trouble, they perform a heist and steal game 2. That has to be devastating for CompLexity.
Just brutal as well. I mean,
CompLexity with those shots at the end.
Exactly.
What? They can't buy a goal in those situations.
You see it. Just look at them. They're like, oh my goodness. Can't believe neither of those found their way into the back of the net. And it started off so promising as well. Flakes, a beautiful carry from the midfield.
It was just a repeat of the script from game 1.
It really was. It really was. Game 1, wash, rinse, repeat. But Triple Trouble would not be denied. The beautiful slow play, Cassio he's playing the mind game for the flick, dishes it off and goes for the pass play.
And then these shots, Greasy getting denied. Cassio with a big save. It goes off the crossbar and out. And then this one off the crossbar, off the post, and out again. Triple Trouble making plays, but Cassio just having a phenomenal game. Making plays on defense, making plays on offense, shooting, assisting, doing it all.
And you really thought it was going to be Tadpole and Ronicky, but when Cassio's on fire as well, Triple Trouble is really in fine form. That being said, they would like to avoid the early 2-goal lead from CompLexity in game 3 and maybe breathe a little easier and just take a 3-0. Cassio, stop a push from CompLexity, but Flakes continuing to build some pressure there. Breezy off the ceiling, and Magnus already waiting for it. CompLexity reading the clears quite well from Triple Trouble, but will anything come from it? Doesn't seem so. A nice demo gives Cassio an opportunity, but doesn't have any boost. He will need some help from Tadpole. Breezy not able to find a ball past the midfield line. Ronicky lofts one towards the middle for Cassio. Can't quite find it. Demo as well will push Triple off, but that won't stop him from being aggressive. They get a pass into the middle out of the corner, and they're on the board first.
You can see Magnus was in net, comes out, gets caught out. If he just stayed in net a little bit longer, he would have been able to cut off that pass and deny the shot. Just got a little antsy and drawn out of net, and that made him have to pay the price as Trouble gets out ahead early.
Now it's CompLexity. Gonna have to find something, so Flakes, first one to maybe do it.
Or maybe, you know, they're just trying to change up the formula, Chiefs. They were out ahead early in games 1 and game 2, and it didn't work
just play
out.
From behind.
Yeah, maybe that's what they need.
It's worked quite well for Trouble. And so Cassio will pop one out into the corner. Ronicky out into the middle. Greasy in a bad spot, and that will tip off his car and go off the bar and into the net. Trouble 2-0.
And it seems like everything is going right for Trouble. The double commit. Greasy even, he got a piece of that ball. It goes off the crossbar, off the post, but it goes in this time for Trouble. No break for CompLexity.
As much as he could, when being in such a tough situation, can't really fault Greasy. It's a tough play to make, almost impossible. And he was oh so close.
And there's a mental mountain that has to be overcome for CompLexity. 2 heartbreaking losses in a row.
Yeah.
And now a 2-goal deficit that they'll have to get over. Gotta wonder if it's gonna be too much.
Magnus, he's got Flakes and a great defense from Trouble, reading the passing lane. Tadpole will just try and throw this into the corner. Greasy will sniff it out. He's got Flakes waiting at the top of the box. They will not be able to fully connect. He'll still set the ball up for Magnus. He doesn't feel good. He knew Cassio had him beat. He needs to play defense. It's over his head anyway, and kicked wide. Second chance denied, and Trouble will not make it a 3-goal lead.
Tadpole almost making the highlight reel with that play. So close, just wide on that. But you can tell Trouble's feeling so confident, eager to close out this series.
Tadpole takes away the ball in the midfield. There's, again, another block from him. Greasy trying to find a gap. The midfield line. Flakes a little late to the ball. Cassio applying pressure to Magnus towards the backboard. And a strong clear from Greasy will give them some space to work with. Not able to find the block, but Flakes in support. Greasy going to be figuring out when he wants to go for this one. Decides not to, in fact, as it bounced right in front of Trouble. Towards the back wall. Tadpole just trying to see if he can find a bump on CompLexity somewhere. Actually, this is a great chance. Cassio actually lets that ball go. It means a poor clear from CompLexity, and it'll be bouncing around fairly dangerously, but Trouble are more than content to just wait and block the clears.
I love what I saw from Cassio. Now setting up this shot for Tadpole. A 3-goal lead. All starting out with Cassio. You called it. He bailed out on that ball to get the boost steal. And that caused CompLexity to get a poor clear. They couldn't get back on defense and reset. And that eventually just overwhelmed CompLexity. Trouble getting the goal.
And the mountain gets higher for CompLexity. Only able to find 4 shots. Trouble has 9 in game 3. And that will find its way into the back of the net. Magnus will pop one under the bar.
Signs of life. Flakes had to jump before getting bumped. Gets his flip back off the ceiling. A wonderful pass to Magnus. That's the type of plays CompLexity needs, but is it too late? Time is not on their side.
About a minute and a half. Been done plenty of times, but it's just been such a brutal series. Dropped down and kicked out. Thankfully, Trouble will not find the back of the net if you're a CompLexity fan. Greasy trying to dunk one home and popped into the middle. Ronicky in position. Finds a welcome, booming clear. And CompLexity just trying to cover so much distance in so little time. It's the dump and chase, and it's so tough to make that work. Tadpole will not be able to sneak it through. Greasy on the line. Downfield, it's past Cassio. Flakes is there. It's off the bar. Magnus needs to put this in. Has to go over the defense. Greasy Meister, weak shot and saved from Ronicky. That was it for CompLexity, and that has to hurt.
They had to get that goal again, hitting the crossbar. Accuracy plaguing them in those moments. And now defense from Triple Trouble can close this series out.
Popped out towards the corner. Greasy still not done. Trying to get anything he can out into the midfield, away from Triple Trouble. They've always been so ready to catch anything coming out of the corners. Final 10 seconds. Should be cruise control unless this finds its way in, and yes, it does! Magnus gets it to Flakes, and they've got a chance.
There's still hope. Tadpole trying to get the clear. We see the demo, and then the pass into the middle. Flakes, who has been so much of the offense for CompLexity, keeping the dream alive, but they need one more.
So let's see the kickoff. What do they go with? They draw it back to Greasy. They've both got boozed, and it's a tough play. He's got it. A beautiful read to at least keep the ball up, but it doesn't matter. Ronicky right there for it, and Triple Trouble will sweep CompLexity out.
And that was a scary series for Triple Trouble. They made, a sweep on paper, but games 1 and game 2.
Oh, man.
Those were not very one-sided. Triple Trouble had to battle back in both of those, being behind by 2 goals, and they still make it happen. Then in game 3, they just put the pedal to the metal and accelerated to the finish line.
It definitely made me eat my words. I was favoring CompLexity all the way, and you said it. Master thieves from Triple Trouble, and they will win the series.
Oh man, Cassio played so well. The plays from him all around, even Tadpole the saves. I loved what I saw from Triple Trouble. These guys looking fresh.
Strong win to start off their group, halfway to day 3, but when we come back, we will continue DreamHack Valencia, day 2, continuing. We'll see you in a bit.